They cooked. I was on the fence when 2.0 was releasing, but I played through it, and it is a massive upgrade over 1.0 basically. The new characters feel lively. The new characters are much more likable compared to the boring slop that we got in Chisha, Yang Yang. Baiju was kinda hot, but still her personality fell off. So basically everybody in 1.0 was boring. 2.0 on the other hand throws us an intriguing storyline, amazing characters. I mean, I simp for Carlotta and Zani. The world of Rinascita is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I mean, I genuinely want to explore the map, which wasn't the case in Huanglong, where the first map that we're thrown into when you begin the game. I was not impressed with it. Yeah, the graphics are great and all, but the world didn't feel like it was calling to me. With Rinascita, I want to spend every moment of it there. The music is phenomenal. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, so let's begin. Story-wise, the overall plot of this was fantastic. Like, I would rate it one of the best Wuthering Waves stories, and that's a low bar, I know, because the other stories are complete crap, but still, this main story was like intriguing. It had a good mystery to it. It had cool concepts. It made me feel that I was playing a Final Fantasy game with the maiden and the divinity and the dragons and the magical structure and echoes and all. It just felt like straight out of a Final Fantasy game, which is amazing. The characters are really good, really good. I mean, we first meet Brant, who is a very, very amazing performer. We meet Rochia, who is just adorable. I mean, the way that she just says "Mamma Mia" with the most bland robotic voice is something unique. I mean, I don't know why, but it just feels nice to hear that. Zani has the most beautiful accent in this game at this moment, and I think she's a fan favorite. I think everybody loves Zani. After that, Carlotta. I've seen divided opinions, but I love Carlotta a lot. I find her very beautiful, and I've also heard that her Japanese voice actor is Rin Tosaka. So yeah, I mean Rin. It's Rin, guys. Or for the Genshin fans, Yoimiya. For those who play in Japanese. But her English, I play in English, so her English voice is done. It was fabulous. Like I could listen to Zani and Carlotta every day and I wouldn't get bored. Their designs were amazing. The detail, as usual, because Wuthering Waves is made on Unreal Engine, they have a higher graphical capability. So the graphics are outstanding. The sky, the textures, the map, the echoes, the new echoes. It kind of reminds me of Fontaine from Genshin. Especially the one where you have those two dancers. It kind of reminds me of the mecha dancers, the first boss that you fight in Fontaine, and it's amazing, like how the concepts, it's pure European in nature. Rinascita is definitely modeled after Venice. Like, you have gondolas, you have the whole city built on a water body, you have those kinds of bridges that you would find in the city of Venice, and it's just beautiful the way that they've done. The music is outstanding, the church and all, the order that they've done. They've presented a good plot, which has gotten me intrigued. That wasn't the case with 1.0, where we had that I don't even remember what the 1.0 plot was actually. I mean, we found ourselves in Huanglong and something something Jian something something Jinchi was kind of cute and something something. We beat up a monster, big monster. Then we had that cringe Avengers Assemble moment where like in the assembly, you didn't even know 50% of the characters were assembled. So it was a mess. It was a huge mess. So coming from there, we saw gradual improvements. I mean, I saw gradual improvements in the Showkeeper storyline, Camellia's companionship quest, and now with this new chapter, they've just, it shows that they've learned and they've corrected their mistakes, because Rinascita as a whole is mysterious. It's fun. It gives the same vibes as Fontaine gave me when I began Genshin. I know you have this air of elegance but also mystery to it. Rinascita is known as the land of the echoes, so we get a lot of information about the echoes, which was very much needed because I still had no idea what the hell an echo was. I mean, they're just Pokemon to me, where you just beat them up and they leave a holographic concept and you can collect them, yada yada yada. So Rinascita explores that echoes can be controlled. There's the history of echoes, and then you have different types of echoes and how you can control them, stuff like that. After that, in the main story, you had to go to the vault and explore the Montelli family, see who the traitor is, stuff like that. I mean, overall the structure of the story was very nice. I did not feel bored at any moment, which is good, which is what a story should be. Apart from the story, because I've just been ranting about it, and the characters, the world of Rinascita, let aside Ragunna city or whatever you want to call that, that Venice city, I think it's called Ragunna. Leaving aside that, the entire map is beautiful. We have the Alvarado Vault, which is gorgeous, with that filter, with that sky, with the golden sky. It's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Then you have, I haven't explored Rinascita in completely yet, but I'm still doing it. So the parts that I've seen are there's a broken mountainous region towards the end. There's a Colosseum type structure. There's theaters. I mean, it's just it's just magnificent and massive in nature. Like, it's fun, and the quality of life that they've added to exploration, which includes the supply chest in your area. You do not need to use the loot mapper anymore in this new region, where the game would automatically just tell you there are 5 supply chests in the area, so go on, search for them. And it's a nice update. It's a nice upgrade to something which was very tedious before, and often I forgot about it often. After that, the bosses, the new echoes, are nice to fight because they are very challenging in nature. I did not expect to get my ass beat when I went to farm Carlotta's boss materials, or when I went to farm the weekly boss, and I just tested my limits, because up till now I was playing with a game with I was playing my game with Jinshi, Camellia, and Showkeeper, and I'm basically indestructible. Showkeeper heals so much, and she is a great support unit that I don't really need to care about my DPSs losing HP, because I know that Showkeeper will handle them. But in Rinascita, I was planning every move. I had to look out for the dodge counters. I had to look out for the indicators, when I can dodge, when I can counter, when I can parry. And even Showkeeper was taking quite a few hits. My Showkeeper went below 50% of her HP, which was something that I've never seen before, because Showkeeper has my Showkeeper has 42,000 HP, and seeing her go to 24 or 20 or 19, I was like, no way, this isn't possible. But yeah, the combat is fun. I also like that they've added a setting which removes the damage numbers, which is something that I really want in Genshin Impact. But I'm glad that Wuthering Waves introduced it, because, I know people love to see massive numbers, 6-digit, 7-digit, millions and millions of damage that their characters are doing. But personally, I just don't like damage numbers. I hate them. In every game, if I have an option to shut it off, I will shut it off. I will turn that thing off, because I do not want to see how much damage my characters are doing. I just want to play the game. If the health bar is going down, that's more than enough for me. So that was a really good setting that I saw. The flying that they have introduced is it's straight out of Batman Arkham. Honestly, it just feels like you're gliding in Batman Arkham Knight. It honestly felt like that. I remember when I played Arkham Knight, I used to do tons and tons of dives to gain altitude, to glide infinitely throughout Gotham City, to do tricks and turns like gliding through small parts in the buildings or through small gaps and such. And while I still haven't mastered Wuthering Waves flying yet, but the overall feel, barring the stamina, because I hate stamina system, but we have something like that. So apart from the stamina system, everything just feels like straight out of, they took inspiration from Arkham Knight. You have the same dive mechanics where if you dive and then rise, you gain more altitude, which is amazing. You have a boost feature, which I think boosts your altitude or something like that. And the overall feel of gliding is very reminiscent of Batman, which is something that I like. Now, one thing that I don't like is that that glide has to be activated through interacting with that wing echo, which is something that I would have liked it if in Rinascita we had the option that if we jump from a high enough cliff or we have enough altitude below us, we could immediately enter into the flying state. But sadly that's not the case, and I cannot assign that echo to my quick swap menu. So it is what it is. I have to search for a winged echo, but it's still fine because the flying is fun. After that, the music, they changed the music in the login page, which is something that I did not expect, because the only other game that I've seen change their login page is FGO, and they've only did it 4 times, I think. One was the first one when you had the Grand Order, then you had the Grand Order 1.5 quest, I think. I don't remember what it's called, but it was something. And then you have the Cosmos and the Lost Belt, which is like 2 wallpapers, one up till I think it was Tunguska, and then after Tunguska it changes, or maybe Lost Belt 6 or Trom, something like that. It changes something. So I did not expect Wuthering Waves to change their login page, but here we are. When the game booted up, and on the 2nd of Jan, I opened my game expecting that boring music to play once more, but I was greeted with this really, really good music of 2.0, and honestly, that music is fire. That music is amazing. I could listen to that. That's a music that I would like to listen to while I'm editing my videos, or while I'm brushing my teeth or taking a shower. It's a good music, and the overall music in Rinascita is fantastic. It's much more better than what I've heard. I found myself humming the main theme, which is I think the login music as well. I think it matches with the Rinascita theme, and I was humming it. And that's the first time I've ever hummed a Wuthering Waves music, because they're often quite forgettable, which is when you play Genshin Impact and Arc Knights, the music department takes a steep dive. With FGO, Arc Knights, and Genshin, I don't think any other music has come to even compete with them. But I feel like, Rinascita's music could do that because it is fantastic. It is fabulous. It is a pleasure to listen to their music. And I think I've heard that, I think the main composer for Arc Knights has done some work for Wuthering Waves, which is amazing because he produces good stuff for Arc Knights, like really good stuff. So yeah, I mean, if the login music was his work, it's amazing. It's beautiful. But after that, the combat is still the same, but it still feels unique because, Carlotta. I only have Carlotta. I got her. I won the 50-50, thankfully. But she has been a blast, and I really like her play style with the huge rifle, one-handed rifle, I think, or I don't know what kind of gun she uses. It's a crystal gun, and it's just amazing to play her. I'm still building her, but yeah, it's amazing. The new echoes feel fun to use. We have new systems. I think Spectrofrazzle was something, which is another thing that I did not expect. Like, we our rover got upgraded, so like, our Spectro rover can now do Spectrofrazzle, which is something that I did not expect because, once again, coming from Hoyoverse games, you don't see your main character getting buffed, especially Genshin Impact. I mean, we still don't have a good traveler. I mean, I will try to make the Pyro Traveler usable. I will make them a DPS, trust me. But still, I wouldn't call them a S tier stuff or, getting upgrades throughout the story. In this case, we just got a direct upgrade, which is like similar to FGO's rank up type of stuff. Like, where you get additional effects to your damage, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a nice concept that they introduced, and I wish more characters get that. Once the power creep starts to hit, I wish we get other stuff, like, something like rank ups in this game, where, maybe old characters like Jian or Yinlin, 1 year from now, when they're, losing their value, they gain certain buffs that, make them relevant again. Maybe add a few extra effects to their attacks. It could work. I mean, it could work. I don't know why Genshin doesn't do it. I don't know why Star Rail doesn't do it, but it could work. But apart from all of this, I feel that they really nailed the hammer, the nail. I mean, I'm just so speechless, but I feel that, they've really done it with this one. I can officially recommend people to play this game because it is now fabulous. You have to get through the 1.x slop and all. You mean the first like the 1.0 stuff is downright bad. It's downright bad, and I cannot recommend anybody to, like, sit through it. I'll just tell you to go skip it. But once you do that, Showkeeper is a nice storyline, Camellia is a nice storyline, Rinascita is a great storyline. Yeah, it's still, like, people simp for you, but I've learned to accept that fact, and I've learned to accept that this is a game where our main character is basically God, and everybody wants to get in their pants. So I just accepted it, and with that mentality, I approach Wuthering Waves, and it's been a blast recently because, when certain characters come with me, like, over, you can do it, and I'm like, yeah, I know I can do it because I am the ultimate one in this one. I'm like All Might of Wuthering Waves. I'm the god. It's not like Genshin where, where the traveler is powerful, but they just, feign it, or I don't know, they just don't reveal their true power, or they just, like, kind of chilling into that. But with Rover, it's like, I know I do not remember stuff of my past, but I am a god, and that works. So yeah, still overall pretty fun stuff. But that's it for now. How did you like the 2.0 story? I'm still playing through Carlotta's companionship quests. Like, yeah, it'll take some time, but I'll get there. I'll get to exploring this new world that they've made. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy Wuthering Waves, because it is a fine game now. It is a very fine game. Even the performance is good. And I play on a 1050 Ti, so like, yeah, I mean that's pretty old by now. But yeah, it's a fine game, and I can definitely, like, recommend it. So go ahead, drop in on Rinascita, have some fun, pull Carlotta, and check out my channel. Please subscribe and have a great day. Goodbye.